not know how I will ever repay you, Witcher.
Don't expect to be paid. Hope you're feeling better, that's all.
Oh, yes, I feel my strength returning thanks chiefly to Barnabas Basil's care.
Horrible ordeal you endured. Glad I cut it short.
Yes, years of suffering. Do you know what was worse than the hunger? Watching my loved ones, my children grow old and die. All my family's long gone now. The last of my kin perished decades past. I fear I've nowhere to go.
This is a big house, big estate. You can stay here.
Truly? I could never infringe so on your hospitality. Yet...
Yeah?
After all I've suffered, the years of starvation, I've but one dream. At last to prepare food that fortifies, nourishes, to delight in the tastes and smells of spices, to sit at one table with others and eat.
Don't see a problem if that's your dream. You could help Barnabas Basil in the kitchen. Eating his meals. You know he's not a culinary virtuoso.
Nothing could make me happier. Thank you.
No, thank you. House could use a woman's touch.
I've one other thing I'd like to tell you. Many years ago, my father assembled valuables for my dowry. I never wed, so they remained unclaimed. These baubles are no use to me now, but to you, well, perhaps let them be a token of my gratitude. If you wish to find them, you must go to my old home, to Trastamara. The dowry lies hidden in a barrel in the cellar. There are several barrels. You must give each a knock until you find the right one.
Do just that. Thanks. I'd never expect someone with your past to feel drawn to the kitchen.
Do you fear I will cook in your home as I brewed as a white?
Counting on you having slightly better taste as a human.
Of that, you can be sure. I loved cooking, even as a child. My gran was a true master in the kitchen. Her spit-roasted oaks was famed throughout the land.
Thought you were a lady, owned an estate.
Do you mean to say a woman of my rank should have had a cook? You're right, of course. And I had the best of cooks. But I devised the dishes myself. They only prepared them.
You sure you don't feel lonely out here?
I cannot say yet. Too little time has passed since you freed me of my thrall, but somehow, for now at least, I do not feel drawn to the city, to others.
Visited others' homes as a white?
Yes, but ever at night, when all were asleep. I went in search of spoons.
Remember, you can always change your mind. Decide you've lived here long enough, just say the word.
I'd never wish to seem ungrateful.
And I'd never want you to stay against your will. See you later.
Take care, Witcher. And remember...
Here,
Even a horse drops if you ride it with a constant gallop.
Might want to look around some. This one's full too. Full. This one's full too. Nothing interesting here. Strange. That's awful pretty. It'll look great in the house.
Go, go.
Mama says that if someone's really got her name really...
Godspeed, bum-poked. You must hang on, milady.
You Jacob?
Heel, Moholt. Down. Who asks?
A witcher. Saw your notice.
Hold up. A witcher, you say? Like in Luis Herrera's Tales and Fables. Luckier than a green bleeding leprechaun I am. See, not a soul around believes this tree is Daphne, the cursed lady of legend. But you could lift the curse.
Bit too old to believe in bedtime stories, aren't you?
Want your chops busted, Witcher? How old I am, that is none of your poking concern.
Fair point. Not my business what you believe either.
Ha! I'm content we see eye to eye.
So what makes you think there's a girl cursed inside the tree?
Well, I came out with my dog, Moholt, to cut her down. Axe in hand, a broad swing I took. The edge burrowed deep in her trunk, and bum-botch me if blood didn't spurt forth. My jaw dropped in the dirt, but right then I knew. Every jot of it in the tale of Daphne, Gareth, and the Witch of Lynx Crag.
Don't tell me. From Herrera's Tales and Fables.
You porking bet. Second edition, amended in octavo. I know those tales by heart. My nan read them to put me to sleep.
Guess she read it cover to cover, colophon included. Got me curious, gotta admit. You really think the old tales are true?
Taking the weepy, are you? Do you think me balmy?
No, it's just these are dark, grim times. No room for knights pure of heart or happily ever afters. So I don't often run into folk like you.
Yes, true, the times are crud pie. But I see this as all the more reason to remember the tales. My gran would say, if you know not what to do, think to the chessboard knight and noble Alondra, and the path they would choose. She schooled me so thorough in it, I could not do otherwise even if I wished to.
Let me take a look at the tree.
Careful now.
Swear I hear sobs in the rustling leaves. Actually does bleed. Looks like human blood too. And the bark resembles hypertrophic scars in places. Medallions humming like crazy. Intense magic at work here. Blood seeped from the direction of the tree, judging by the shape of the stain. Actually does bleed. Looks like human blood too. And the bark resembles hypertrophic scars in places. Medallions humming like crazy. Intense magic at work here. Logger was making good time. Strange, though. Willow's isolated. No other trees near it.
And? Did you look at the tree close?
Mm-hmm. Actually does bleed. Pretty incredible. Looks wondrous.
Did I not say so?
My help doesn't come free, you know.
You speak to a lowly woodcutter. No stench of coin about me. Lower, you must go lower. Agreed. I will pay as soon.
Willing to help, but first I gotta figure out where to start.
No need. I know it all. Miss Daphne and Sir Gareth shared a terrible and fearsome love for each other. Yet to prove himself worthy of her hand, Gareth was to face the Witch of Lynx Crag. Before Sir Gareth set off for the hill, Miss Daphne gave him her kerchief, a token of her favor.
Let me guess, he never returned.
He did not. She stood here, day upon day, night upon night, trying to spy him.
Till she sprouted roots and turned into a tree? Wonder why.
I will fecking tell you why. To await the moment when Gareth returns, kerchief in hand. That is the power of love. The power of longing. So you must scale Lynx Crag. Search there for a means to free Daphne. I will give you my book of tales to refer to. And good luck, Witcher.
Move it!
matches. Outlook's inhabited. No sign of the dweller, though. Guess I'll look around. A wall of spell enhancements, or trophies. Arrow, broken in half. No doubt to bring bad luck to the archer. Branch off a grapevine. Could be to ensure a good harvest, or a bad one. Doll looks like an accessory for casting curses. Silk kerchief, monogrammed DF. Could use it to break the curse if it's Daphne's.
None but feral cats stray in here most oft, yet it seems I forguessed from afar at that. What do you seek in my home?
Already found it.
You do not aim to lift the curse from the tree girl, do you?
What if I do?
Then you had best know you waste your time. The old tales? Did your Nan not tell them to you? Even I, the witch of Lynx Crag, would be hard-pressed to overcome the power of love and longing.
The Lady's Knight. You ever make it here?
Sir Gareth. Yes. He came to sway me, but had a quick change of heart. To be precise, it came after the first night we spent together. He stayed a fair while. Then his conscience got the better of him, and he resolved to return to his beloved.
Might have resolved to, but never made it.
A tragic fate befell him along the way.
You have anything to do with this turn of fate?
Of course. Was I to let another woman have a man who belonged to me? I could not abide it.
I'll handle the curse myself, without your help.
Go right ahead. I wish you luck.
Letting me go, just like that?
I could not have devised a better ending for this little tale. Our visit is done. Adieu. For never shall we meet again.
A knight's plate armor and some bones. Gareth's remains? These then. Wonder why the armor came apart. Magic? Or he'd just fall from a height?
Giddy up.
You maggot-bummed freak! You killed him! Your soul! Death comes for you! This shan't drag on too long.
Praised be our Lord Lepiota. You come in his name. You are his avatar.
Nope, just a witcher who happened to be passing through.
By the prophet's intervention. He was your guide. He nudged your footsteps here.
If you say so.
What shall we call you?
I'm
Geralt! Lovely, it rings. Sacred it sounds. Do you thirst or hunger?
Let me see what you're serving. Take care now.
You are sorely missed already.
I thank you for your help, Witcher. I thank you for your help, Witcher.
Nothing doing. Something rich around here.
Slower.
So? You met the witch. You must have. What did you learn?
That witch? She's not near as bad as folks say. Made me bow and scrape, sure. But I know some sorceresses witchier than her.
Joyous, bleeding news, but what about Daphne?
I can lift the curse, free her, by performing a ritual, making a sacrifice of her kerchief and Gareth's remains. But we gotta start at the right time. When the hour comes, I'll light 4 fires for the 4 winds, then begin the ritual.
Fires? Then I shall be of use to you after all. Seems you need wood. Much of it.
Chop as much as you can. I'll see to the rest.
I've chopped and stacked the wood. What now?
My turn. Gotta light fires and talk to the woman enchanted in the tree. No idea how this'll turn out, so just in case, stand at a distance. And if you see me draw my sword, run. Look your last to the world's four winds. From the south, not a word. From the east, no cry is heard. From the north, silence sighs. From the west, peer hollow eyes. Cease your vigil, dead he lies. Hear me, you who hide beneath this bark. Recall today who you really are. Behold a kerchief, proof of your love for another. Behold, a bone of he to whom you offered your love.
Gareth, my Gareth, he shall never return.
No, he won't.
Is his love for me gone? Did he stay true?
Gareth broke his vow, failed to stay faithful.
Man is built of mud and filth, milady, and is like to blunder, we all are.
How cruel is the world to render conferring one's love so hard.
But what would the world be without love?
The time comes that I depart. I've waited too long. I've suffered too much. And now I wish to go.
Farewell, milady.
I thank you, stranger. And you, my knight. I thank you for speaking to me. For standing vigil at my feet.
I did not think it would end this way. I hoped we could revive her. But I guess it was not to be.
We did all we could.
You did well. Here, your pay. And the book is yours as well.
Thanks. Take care of yourself.
So long, Witcher.
Come on. Let's go.
Ah!
Come on. Hey there.
Halt, master. A beast lurks in there.
Right. Expected as much, 'cause I...
Shh, quiet, before you wake it. Come, I've camped nearby. We shall talk there. What do they call you? What's your crest? Speak!
Geralt of Rivia, crest of the bridge. Hail, and well met. Francois Le Goff, I presume. Your betrothed sent me. See, you've been gone a while, so you've got her worried.
Well, indeed, for Grotore is a most fearsome beast. I must prepare properly for battle.
Takes 2 weeks, that?
I have tarried a bit, true, but the delay is done. My word I gave, thus the beast shall die.
Wouldn't happen to need any help, would you?
I don't know. After all, I did swear a solemn oath to...
Deposit the beast's head at your beloved's feet. No mention of you killing it all by yourself, though.
All in all, I suppose you're right. We must fight side by side, then. For honor.
Strange. No sign of Grotore.
Perhaps we should turn back? If there's no beast, there's no beast. Damn shame, but we tried.
Not so fast. Let's take a look around. Impressive. You'd think you were in a winter garden. Filled with children's shoes. Doubt I've ever seen a collection this grotesque. Something on the other side. Enough to get through. There's some other sign will cut this.
Seems the brute is not here. We cannot change this. We must live with it. Desist.
Various sundries, some tools. Clear as day now. Tori must have taken breaking its vitality. Seems to be off somewhere, probably feeding. Need to lure it.
Very well. To work then. Gods, thy will be done. So I vowed to slay Grottori. Thought it would buy me time to battle such a beast. Why, it could take months.
Especially at the rate you were going. High time you returned.
Nay, oh, nay. The head of this beast is a trifle, wholly inadequate to express the love I harbor for my betrothed. The world awaits. To honor her, I shall cut down another, more terrible beast.
Take my advice. Grab the damned head and cut the shit.
You're blind to my predicament. Once I return, I will have no recourse. She'll drag me to the nearest shrine while...
Shut up and listen. Crests, scrap metal armor, swooning damsels. All that's nothing to do with hunting monsters. Witches' work. Damn hard, dangerous, and thankless work that you're just not cut out for. Want to prove your valor? Go back to your betrothed and be honest. Tell her you're not ready to marry.
You do not mince words, Master. In Tucson, one might demand satisfaction upon trampled ground for a lesser slight. Yet, there is truth in what you say, I cannot deny. I survived with my life by a hair. It is time I returned home.
Giddy up.
Should the beast you espy tell the commander, be spry! Best cure for the beast. A witcher.
Got good news, madam.
As do I. Francois has returned. We marry in a week's time. Prenuptial teachings at the temple tomorrow. Dress fitting the next morn. Then a tour of the wedding venue. I have never been so happy.
Not sure these nuptials are a great idea.
What? I beg your pardon?
Young Master Legoff. Well, he wasn't exactly raring to get hitched. Seems to me you two should
Well, I never. The nerve! Not another word. Take your coin. Leave us be.
I was to get a new coif from Jean-Louis Lettev. A doctor, said your mum.
Hello there. Come here.
Yeah? What is it?
Now, why does one summon a witcher, To inquire about the gossip currently flowing about the court? I have a problem with a beast.
Ah, you the one posted the notice? Go on then, spit it out. What's it about?
First, my dear witcher, we must establish ground rules. Given the vast difference in our respective social positions, I'm sorry to say I take umbrage at the familiar tone you take. I expect deference. I expect you to address me as Sir, or better yet, as Monsieur de Bourbeau.
Listen, friend. There's an enormous difference between us, but it's not about status. It's about me having two swords on my back, and you having none. So I'll call you whatever I want, and you either deal with that or solve your monster problem yourself.
The gall! I shall file a complaint with your guild.
Make sure you address it to customer service. Kaer Morhen, Kedwin. Now talk, before I change my mind and go.
Nordlings and their manners. Very well. Let us get this over with. Something has infested my vineyard.
Great. Let me go prepare my something oil then.
I beg your pardon?
Need more information than that. Where was this something seen? Any witnesses? Bodies to examine?
Therein lies the rub. None has seen the beast. We've only heard signs of its presence, a strange scratching and shrieks. Neither are there any corpses to inspect. Men simply disappear without a trace.
Noises you mentioned, where do they come from?
Well, everywhere. But they're most clearly audible in the wine cellar.
Means the monster must dwell underground. When are the noises loudest?
In the night, just as they were years ago, when the buildings quaked. Another expert agreed to look into the matter then, but was never thereafter seen nor heard of.
Who's disappeared, if you don't mind my asking?
Most recently some farmhand, I believe.
Despite the vast difference in social status, you remember the farmhand's name, maybe?
No. You must speak to my wife. She has more collegial relations with this household help. She's away at the moment visiting her mother, but should return forthwith. Oh, that should suffice with the questions. Now...
Depends. What kind of reward are we talking about?
Fine. Seems I must take the loss. Agreed.
Fine, I'll do it. Need to look around here first. Then I'll want to talk to Madame de Bourbeau.
Very well. I shall inform you once she has returned. Meanwhile, the key to the cellar. Just... whatever you do, please do not disturb the wine barrels.
It's quiet. Guess the monster actually is nocturnal. Gotta wait till dark. All right, let's look around. Shattered dishes. Got knocked off the shelf somehow. Shaken off, maybe? What the...
Fetch this empty dead. Sweep up here. Box it all. Boy, is my
Has
ready
got
to
a
blow.
waste. Then nothing.
A tunnel? Kicky Moores? Ugly bastard. break through. Getting more interesting by the minute. Kicking more eggs. Should destroy them before the young hatch. Start prowling the vineyard. No Kikimor dug this. Tunnels are the work of something much bigger. Something with heavy, wide claws. Cracked Kikimor eggs. Something's been feeding on them. Water coursing. Underground stream. Monster I'm looking for lives underground, digs tunnels, feeds on Kikimors, and is big. Very big. Won't learn anything else here. Time to go back to the surface.
Sacre bleu!
What What is the meaning of this? I'm paying you to slay a monster, not demolish my property.
Property's falling apart on its own, what with all the tunnels under it. I'd fill those in soon if you don't want your building to collapse.
Tunnels? Fiddle my thumb, how did tunnels appear down there?
Something dug 'em. A large creature. Also killed a few kikimores down there and destroyed their eggs. Consider it a half-favor. Won't cost you much.
Kikimore eggs. Yes, of course, good work. Indeed, a reward is due.
Madame de Bourbeau, I presume? Hear you know something about the missing farmhand.
Jean-Luc? Yes. We went to examine this year's seedlings. Something had been nibbling at them. Then we heard these odd noises. Jean-Luc went to reconnoiter and never returned.
Madame, could you describe Jean-Luc?
Tall, exceedingly well built. Hair black as pitch.
Dear, concentrate. There is not a peasant that is not well built. They work in the fields all day. He means scars, birthmarks, that sort of thing.
Then none, I suppose. But he did wear a pendant around his neck. A silver one.
Silver jewelry on a farmhand?
It was a gift, I believe. Or that is what he claimed.
Should be enough to go on.
Then what are you fritting round here for? Get to work.
Please, find Jean-Luc.
Still here? But why? Seek the beast!
Patrolling on an empty stomach. Oh, dreadful.
Bread's really stale. Been here a while. Blanket was laid out here. Footprints. 2 sets. Felled trees, as if something rolled over them. So is Shaelmar. Only they dig tunnels and move like that. Large, deep tracks. Claw marks. Straight, dull, perfect for digging. Trail ends here. Looks like she went back to the manor. Entrance. Let's see if this witcher left any tracks. Trail leads to that cave. School symbol on the wall. Clever. Gotta keep a lookout for more. marks. Straight, dull, perfect for digging. Droppings. Grubs that feed on them are a delicacy to giant centipedes. Must be the corpse of the Witcher from the School of the Bear. Should have never taken this risk. Must have really wanted the armor. I can probably make really good use of these diagrams. Dead end. Except, looks like there might be something down there. Dead end. Lair. Gotta be. Drags its victims here. Pretty fresh, some of them. Gonna have to brew some bait. Need the blood of a recent victim and some of the mushrooms that grew here. A lock of hair inside. Same color as Madame du Bourbeau's. Fresh corpse. Must be Jean-Luc. Crushed ribs, cracked skull. Shalmar did this. No two ways about it. Highly decayed, partly eaten. Been lying here a while. spill it within the lair, somewhere near an air current, so the scent spreads throughout the cave. Ugh, that stench. Shailmore will be here any minute. Come on, show me your claws.
Beaver bugger me.
Apshoop dum darere apshoop.
The wall. Fix it by the end of the day.
You. Can we talk?
You'd best be bearing good news. Get on with it.
Got rid of the beast that was giving you trouble. It was a Shelmar.
Shelma? Whatever could that be?
Kinda like a cross between a mole and a caterpillar. Just big as a barn.
Huh? Well, Master Witcher, you make a poor first impression, but ultimately proved your worth. There. Your reward.
As for Jean-Luc, afraid he's dead. Sorry.
Who? Oh, him. Trivial as losses go. I shall soon find another to take his place.
Right. After all, he is just a peasant. Not a monsieur de blah blue blah. So long.
Our business. Keep calm! No pros!
Here is the hero we can afford.
Can you
Witcher,
believe
open the unbeliever's
I
eyes.
was to get a new
Oh.
from the
Do you know the colors I would see on the Duchy's banners?
I'm glad to see her illustrious grace summon such a professional.
Welcome to the pheasantry.
Spoon like this. When you set a place, where's it go?
My oh my. It seems rather a fanciful bouillon spoon. Or a key of some sort. There's a note here.
Yeah, note led me here. Any idea what the key might open?
Never seen it before. But you might search the cellars. The previous owner left all sorts of knickknacks there.
ceiling.
Eat, drink, and be merry. Thus spake the prophet Lebioda.
Yeah. See you later.
Eat, drink, and be merry. Thus spake the prophet Leviota.
Kings.
Was to get you from Jean Lutovic. I had some.
I've 3 doublets, none of which are suitable to show myself with.
Should the beast, you espy, tell the commander, be spry!
Was it not you in the night's toy?
Your Grace, I have double...
And what of the...
Geralt of Rivia, Master Witcher.
I was not mistaken. You arrived and trouble followed soon after.
Step aside. Got a matter for the Duchess.
At last, Witcher. We've been on tenterhooks. Did you catch Milton's killer?
Case is more serious than we thought. The beast? I couldn't kill it. Didn't manage.
We sent you after a monster, and you returned with nothing? We are very disappointed.
Situation's not quite that simple. Beast's a powerful vampire.
Ha! Is this a problem? Is it too much for a witcher? A monster slayer? But everyone knows how to end a vampire. Draw him by trick into sunlight. Or arm yourself with ample garlic and drive a stake through its heart.
Garlic's useless against vampires. Sun and stakes don't hurt him either. Those methods, pure invention. Only work in legends and fables.
And buckthorn? When I was a child, Grandmama Ademarta always claimed buckthorn drives off vampires.
Silver sword's your best option for keeping them at bay. But it won't get the job done, because only a higher vampire can truly kill another of its kind.
Excuses. Ha! Your Grace, I shall assemble a battue. Bring the matter to its end at once. The Witcher need but tell us where to find this monster.
Go ahead. Send them to their death. Certain death.
To a lone Witcher, perhaps. To 40 of my men-at-arms, but another skirmish.
40, 50, 100? Doesn't matter. Won't make any difference against him.
You have not seen my guardsmen in action.
Can they fight fog? Hit a target that moves faster than the wind?
How? What creature can do such things?
Creatures like this one. Higher vampires, we call them. Each one's a little different. Unique or exceptional, you might say. Some transform into giant bats. Others communicate with animals, command them.
Yet all are still brainless beasts.
Dead wrong. Thinking of lesser vampires. Alps, Ekamaras, Catacans, for instance. They're ruled by instinct, sure. Attack anything that smells of blood. Higher vampires? They think. They employ reason.
Monsters driven by reason. A curious contention. What, then, do you intend to do?
It's way beyond being some monster. This is a powerful being that's walked the world for centuries.
Yeah, impossible. If so great is their power, why have they not killed or enslaved us all?
Don't usually meddle in our matters. Mostly stay out of our way because they don't care about humans one way or the other.
And they do not fear we shall wipe them out one day.
They'd probably be pretty amused if you asked them that. They're well aware of their strength.
Then what can we do? Do you have a plan?
Try to talk to him. That's our best bet.
I cannot believe this. Her Grace summons a witcher to kill a monster. Instead, he wishes to chat with it. Ha.
Know what I'm doing. His lover was kidnapped. He's being blackmailed.
Blackmailed? Be so kind as to explain how a vampire might be blackmailed.
Higher vampires? They're like us, motivated by emotions, not instinct. Not only are they intelligent to an extreme, they're emotionally rich. Capable of feeling many things, even love. This one fell in love with a woman, a human, and he'll do anything to keep her from harm.
You do not, I trust, suggest we let Milton's killer go free. Or wait until it murders again. We must render it harmless as quickly as possible.
Which is why that's my aim now, to prevent further attacks. Vampires only half the problem. Blackmailers at fault chiefly. Kidnapped the woman to control the vampire.
And what do you propose to do?
I'll find the blackmailer, free the vampire's lover.
You were to destroy him, not help him.
No one else should die. That's most important. Soon as the woman's safe, he'll have no more reason to kill.
I admit to being swayed, Witcher. You may be right. Do you know anything about the blackmailer?
Got one lead. A few scraps of paper. Blackmailer wrote the names of the vampire's victims on them. One of them stained. A drop of wine, looks like. So damn little to go on.
You've no idea how wrong you are, my dear. Send for the ducal sommelier. Hop, hop! In Tucson, wine is sacred. Here there is no such thing as a drop of wine, or stains therefrom. They are stains from a drop of Est, Ervelus, Fiorano.
Your Grace wished to see me?
Witcher, show him the paper scrap. Benoit, can you determine which wine made this stain?
Yes. The west bank of the Saar too. That's rather obvious. Aged in barrels of Beauclair oak. Hue, deep burgundy. Clarity, high. It's simple. Saint-Réal, the 1269 vintage.
That's impossible. The wine is produced at Castel Ravello, especially and exclusively for the ducal table. Perhaps some Saint-Réal was stolen. We must go to the vineyard, see if there's not been an incident.
Saint-Réal. Never heard of it.
It's highly unlikely you've ever had a chance to partake of it. As I said, it is only ever served to the ducal family.
Didn't stop it from ending up on that scrap of paper. Unless your Grace's sommelier is mistaken.
In matters of wine, Benoit is never mistaken. If he says it's Saint-Réal, it is Saint-Réal. We must ride to Castel Ravello at once. Discover what has happened.
Wait. Your Grace wants to go with me? Out of the question.
I hope you do not suppose we will sit on our ducal hiney and do nothing while our duchy is in grave danger.
Your Grace, what you propose is far too dangerous. The Witcher should go alone.
It pleases me to see you gentlemen finally agree on something. But I've made my decision. We shall go, accompanied by the best possible escorts. You, Captain, and Geralt. We will travel incognito. We've no wish to give the court any reason to gossip. For the duration of this mission, I release you from your obligation to adhere to court protocol. In short, from now on, I am Anna Henrietta, not your grace.
Yes, your grace. Witcher, are you ready?
Yeah, ready to go.
Excellent. Give me a moment. I must don something more appropriate and concealing. Then we will be off.
This vampire, have you ever faced its sort before?
I have.
How did it end? Did you kill it?
Didn't have to fight him. Hadn't killed anyone.
Have you ever heard of anyone defeating such a vampire?
Know of a man who defeated one, sure, but he didn't manage to kill it. Ultimately, only another vampire can kill a vampire.
Others have attacked the wagon! We must help!
Stay back, your grace! We shall see to this!
Back, you beast! Begone!
Help! Save us!
Back, you beast! Begone!
Done. Time to move on.
If not for you, we'd have been done for.
They were fortunately happened by.
You saved our lives.
Hooray!
Oh, what's your flim-fligging step?
Head to the pheasantry. They'll put some meat on your bones.
Hey there.
You call that escorting Her Illustrious Highness? What were you thinking?
Captain, this is not the time for such complaints. As for you, Witcher, next time keep close.
Captain de la Tour, we did not expect any visitors from the palace. How are affairs at court?
Doubtless you've heard of the Beast of Beauclair. Well, we've our hands full. Especially since the rogue last attacked in the palace gardens.
I trust Her Illustrious Highness was not harmed?
Kind of you to ask, Master Fabricio. I am well.
Your Grace? We were not warned. I shall order the salon prepared at once.
That won't be necessary. As you can see, we are not here on an official visit.
Naturally. Might I ask then what has brought you to Castel Ravello?
Came to see you. Got some questions.
In this land, it is seen as polite to introduce oneself before asking any questions.
This is Geralt of Rivia, a witcher. He has come to Toussaint on my personal invitation.
Which is to say...
Which is to say, I expect you to treat him with the utmost respect.
Of course, Your Grace.
Did you hear that, Witcher? Fabricio will be delighted to answer your every question.
Want to talk about Saint-Réal?
I am at your service.
Some of this wine might have been stolen. Just a suspicion we have, but... Any burglaries lately?
Burglaries? Not to my knowledge. And a few days past I took stock of the inventory. All was accounted for. The barrels lie safely in the cellar, I assure you.
The Saint-Réal. How many vineyard workers have access to it?
One might say only I do.
Not like you make the wine all alone. At least a dozen others work here.
I see you've little notion how wine is made. Grapes travel a long road before they become Saint-Réal. The workers assist me only to the stage of fermentation. I see to the maceration personally and let no one near the fat. Workers, again, assist me during barreling, but then I seal the aging barrels myself, each and every one. The wine lies in the cellar, gains character. Once this process is complete, it becomes Saint-Réal. And as it happens, only I have the key to the cellar in question.
We'll not get anywhere asking questions, I see. It's a waste of time.
Your Grace, how am I to understand this?
Master Fabricio, we have proof someone's gained access to Saint-Réal. Someone who should not have, which means one of two things. Either you lie to our face, or you are an idiot who has had wine stolen from under his nose and not even realized it. In either case, you shall answer for it.
But...
Silence! And listen. I shall inspect the barrels in person, thus giving you time to reflect. When I return, I expect to hear answers. Remind me, where is the Saint-Réal stored?
In the main cellar, around the corner. I'll show you.
I shall find it. Give me the key to the cellar and wait here.
Oh, of course, Your Grace. Here it is.
Come, Witcher.
What if Fabricio's blackmailing the vampire? Considered that?
He has his flaws, but I would never suspect him of such a thing. He's been very loyal. He owes all he has to me. His father frittered away the family fortune. He left his son an encyclopedic knowledge of wine. That is all. Fabricio lived as a beggar until I appointed him steward of Castel Ravello. Only then did he come into his own.
So where do we start?
Let us see if all the barrels are present. Here's the inventory ledger.
Vintner's log. Fermentation completed with no complications. Tapped above sediment line. Here it is. Barreling. Everything lines up at first glance. Neatly and thoroughly documented.
Then we must follow our other lead. Benoit said the stain came from the 1269 vintage. Let's find it.
Hervelus. I like it. Quite dry.
An excellent wine. You've good taste.
Est. Think everyone and their mother's heard of this wine.
Among the best in the world. Castel Ravello is famous for it.
Fiorano. Dandelion's favorite. Adores it.
Ah, yes. That sophisticated palate of his.
Got Pomino over here. Real. Barrels are dated 1268.
Close, but not quite the right year.
Right here. 1269. What now?
Let's see if any barrels are empty.
Wanna open them?
For now, a knock will suffice. If you hear a hollow thud, we will have found what we seek.
Full. Full.
Full?
Full. This one's full too. Full. Looks like all the barrels are full. Dead end, I'm afraid.
Full they are. The question is, are they full of Sangria? Grab a tap and a hammer. We shall open them one by one and taste.
Ready. We can start. Ready.
Step aside.
So?
Those hints of spice. Distinctive. This is Sonreal. Revolting, bitter plonk.
Could have gone sour while aging.
Impossible. This is not wine. This is contaminated refuse that should never have made it into a barrel. The fact that it did was no accident, I'm sure.
Master Fabricio. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Master Fabricio, I am very disappointed.
But, Your Grace,
You are a step away from losing your head. Speak the truth and you might yet keep it.
I admit it. I sold a barrel of Sonreal. I beg you to forgive me.
Why did you do it?
I couldn't resist. The sum they offered, it was enormous. I gave in.
Is what I provide not enough?
I wished to buy back my family's estate. For here, nothing is truly mine. I've a roof over my head, ample food to eat, but what is a nobleman without land of his own? I shall tell you everything. if you agree to show me mercy.
Who'd you sell the wine to?
A few weeks past at the pheasantry, a rich nobleman approached me. He called himself a diplomat, well connected at court. He suggested we embark on an enterprise. Some of his clients had offered dizzying sums for even a drop of Sonreal. He was to serve as intermediary.
This man's name?
He never revealed it. He was tall, black-haired, and spoke with a foreign lilt. He claimed to hail from Sintra.
I've no Sintrin aristocrat at court.
Really thought nobody'd find out.
I was a fool, very foolish. I beg you, Your Grace, you must forgive me.
Wine itself, how'd you hand it over?
We met under the cover of darkness in the ruins of Fort Astre. A dozen or so men came to collect. Armed men, the kind that stink of trouble. I had hauled the barrel there. They transferred it to their cart, and we went our separate ways.
That's it? That the last you ever saw of them?
That is to say, a few days passed. A messenger arrived. He said they wished to buy another barrel and, well, I've prepared it. Have it ready to deliver.
That's enough. Know all we need to know.
Your Grace, I beg your forgiveness.
Get out of my sight. Captain, have your men take Master Fabrizio to the dungeon. He must answer for his crime. High treason the charge. What now, Witcher?
We set a trap. Need to catch the wine thieves. Sintrian Noble could be our blackmailer. Next, transport. I'll take it to Fort Astra. Damien and his soldiers will cover me.
For once, I agree with you. We will do as you say. Let me know when you are ready.
See no reason to wait. Let's get going.
We will set out now. Position ourselves before you arrive. You take the cart and meet us there.
Fine. When the handoff begins, watch for my signal. Relax. Now we wait.
Ah, our favorite vintner. It's not him.
Is it just me, or did we agree you'd wait for my signal?
That was the plan, but...
Great shot. Good thing you reacted. Can't say how that would have ended otherwise.
At your service. It was a good fight. We managed to capture one of the scoundrels.
Let's ask him a few questions. Come on.
Witcher, a moment. I was wrong about you.
Don't need to like each other. Just gotta do our jobs.
If that's how you wish to treat it. At any rate, I see the effort you put forth. And I appreciate it. Let us go to her grace. She awaits nearby.
Not at all surprised. Expected she'd want to oversee this personally.
The Master's eye fattens the calf. You're beginning to understand that, I see. This prisoner of yours, bring him to me. We must ask him some questions. Captain, do the honors.
Who sent you?
His name is Dog. They say he plowed your mother.
Once again, who sent you?
Your nun's lover. They call it...
Wait. He doesn't wish to speak. He needn't. I can think of several other ways he can be helpful. I'm certain the Witcher will need bait to lure the beast of Beauclair.
What?
Sure can. Fresh out.
In that case, he's all yours.
Captain, Have your men find me a strong rope. Kind that won't snap when we hang this fellow from a tree.
Rope?
Live bait. Great for monsters, provided they catch the scent of its blood. But I'll see to that.
What? No. Crikey, no! Don't let him!
Stop screaming. Save your strength. Got a long night ahead of you.
No! Don't let him! I'll talk!
Barrels. Where were you gonna take them?
I don't know.
Captain, need that rope after all.
I truly don't know. Hornet's the leader, only he ever knew where to go. But he lies over there, dead. That one. The first barrel went to a warehouse at the port. But where this one was bound, I don't know. I speak true. You must believe me.
Who hired you?
He'll kill me.
Ought to be worried about me right now. Who is he?
Go on, man. Spit it out.
The Centurion. That is what they call him. I've never seen him, but I know he mustered the men for this caper. That's what they said, that we were working for the Centurion. I don't know anything else. I swear it.
Take him away. Throw him in the dungeon. He shall await trial there. Captain, we ride to town. Gather your men and seek out the Centurion. Someone else must have seen him, must know of him.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll report to the palace as soon as I learn anything.
I shan't return to the palace. Our mission has not yet ended. The Witcher and I will await you at the guard post near the port.
Let's go to town.
He's late.
Relax, he'll come.
There's something I'd like to know. How can you be so damned calm?
Side effect of my mutations. We Witchers rarely get the jitters.
What if something has happened to him?
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Centurion appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. We only learned of it through a fortunate coincidence. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally confident to blackmail such a monster.
Still don't know this Centurion's behind the kidnapping and blackmail. Might have just handled the theft of the wine.
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine to the blackmailers. As I see it, that makes him an accomplice.
Need to find the Centurion, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailer's identity. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Centurion does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee, lamed for life. And the word on the street is there's a hefty bounty on your head, Geralt.
Don't care. Down to business. You learn anything?
I will start at the beginning. The port warehouse where the wine was delivered. We identified it, then learned who had hired it out. This proved to be a beggar, a stand-in. We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Centurion accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. But she remembered his female companion very well, as she recognized her. On the Cintrian's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard of her. She's said to be gifted, fairy.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there, but we questioned her servants. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Cintrian gentleman tonight. She'd invited him to a reception mounted by the Mandragora.
The Mandragora? What's that?
A club, an affiliation of local artists. Painters, sculptors, troubadours and dancers.
Never heard of it.
They exude a mystique, consciously, I think. Behaving like an exclusive cabal. Artistic elites. Every now and again they mount soirees. Only wealthy patrons are invited. All arrive in elaborate masks, then drink and flirt.
Gotta nab the Cintrian. Seems we have to go to that get-together.
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Cintrian truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend in with the crowd.
Precisely what we shall do.
We, Your Grace.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place, a residence in Oatville. It's a very distinguished district. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire. Then meet me in Oatville, in Mountebank Alley.
Audacious rat, the Cintrian. But we'll get him. Be cautious. Guard her grace closely.
Could gone this time.
Hey, is that not this cur with the price on his head? It's him! Get him!
Any last words?
Let him gain momentum!
Jesus goodness.
Trapped! Sheath your weapon. Thud!
Didn't look like locals. Damien's right. I'm a hunted man.
Here in Beauclair, all's right and fair.
Ah!
All just...
I'm... Ever your servant, sir.
Stocks and the whip await those running riot. Our duchy values peace and...
Nice tune.
Well, go on.
My
Stroke
warmest
them.
greetings.
You must be jesting. To stroke a stranger? Even if it is just a statue.
Whereas a friend, him you would...
Can't believe I'm actually doing this.
The word is that Witcher, you know,
The Aubrey has returned, not to be missed. Buy your ticket.
Late. Now, why does that not surprise me?
Well, well. I did not expect you to have such a sense of style. My, Geralt. Not bad at all. And you've even a mask. Just not the kind required.
Huh?
They're a little different, the ones Mandragora members wear. I've brought you one. Put it on.
Any idea why they wear masks?
Likely because they imagine it oh so very romantic and mysterious. The truth is far simpler. This way, no one can tell which drunken aristocrats are pinching the performers.
Let's go. Soiree's started.
Mm-hmm. Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain. How do we find the Cintrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. Soon as we find her, we find him. Especially since he might be expecting us.
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was. Had it in for me.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
Madame, Monsieur,
An extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
Tell us about these performances.
This evening, the Mandragora has the honor to present 3 superb displays of artistry. The first was a concert by Cecilia Belont, a singer whose voice, were it stone, would surely be a diamond. Sadly, Mademoiselle Cecilia has sung.
Shame. We would have loved to hear her.
Luckily, you are in time to see the great Calesti, a master of visual illusions, come to us from far off Afir.
Visual illusions. Interesting. And the third artist?
The third and fourth, for they are a duo, are the Tuven brothers, presenting their newest pantomime.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Bellant.
You are admirers, I surmise. I'm certain you will have ample opportunity to converse with her.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her easily by the orchid.
Well, well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Kaveri Orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Centrian.
Good to see you.
Put your own house in order first.
We must throw off the manacles of form. Venture, we must throw off the manacles of form. Venture beyond the bounds of cognition. Color is but the shadow of liberations on the nature of existence. It is irrelevant to the work's ultimate meaning.
No, perhaps yes. No, I don't know.
This is definitely done. Let's go. Your words, as you've made no effort to understand. It's a metaphor.
Absinthe. The preferred hooch of artists.
Careful. It packs a pretty powerful punch.
I've built up a pretty powerful resistance.
It's a manifestation. It's obvious. It represents transgression in its purest form.
Should you tire of these hues, drop them in the pail and grab a different array. That green, lush and verdant as a field of vines.
To vines and to wine!
Scarlet crimson oxblood. Crisp lips, full sensual parted lips.
quite the noble color.
Splendid! The sky over Toussaint before this.
Or a deeply internalized fear of intimacy.
Voila! Fine. Now, allow me a moment to ponder. My tracing? The painting depicts spiritual dualism. The continual battle between good and evil. And defiance.
Oh yes, that's him all right. Good versus evil. The dualistic nature of man.
And defiance. Do take care, monsieur.
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
My heart's about to burst from a surfeit of beauty.
Fine. Let's give it a try.
Never suspected you believed in such things.
The mage. I believe he's casting spells.
Yeah, we'll see.
Saraba, Rundum, Alabatista, Saveshkahi, Veshkahi.
Ah, how beautiful.
As for that stipend, I'm sure you understand.
We wish to
The
be
dolphins.
alone.
That
Please,
is no
leave.
ordinary illusion.
We are
The
busy.
man is a true artist.
Impressive.
We wish to be alone. Please, leave.
Are you sure it's an original?
My employer?
Leave us be. Please leave. This is a private alcove.
Have you not heard them?
Please leave. This is
Rage. Cecilia, we wish to be alone. Please, leave.
What? He doesn't come.
Sorry, artists in the Mandragora and their guests only.
Aren't they even? Because the right cuff seems somewhat high.
Do take care, monsieur. Do take care, monsieur.
Yes, sir.
Ah, pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of criticism, but pretentious. So much time I spent. Do not disturb! Shoo, shoo!
It's the right flower.
Of course it is! A Koviri orchid lends just the right contrast to her complexion.
Need to talk to your model. It'll only take a minute.
To me?
Lie still! You may speak, but for love's sake, do not move.
Impressive portrait.
I know the style, the stroke. This is Dorian Velez.
The gracious lady has heard of me?
I've heard Anna Henrietta herself wished you to paint her portrait once.
At one point, the palace chamberlain even wrote to me, but, alas, ultimately refused my terms.
What was the matter?
When he learnt I only ever paint nudes, he severed all contact. He said he would not dare offend her illustrious highness with such a proposition. I've always longed to paint her. Such a shame.
I think you may still get your chance.
We came here to meet you, specifically.
To meet me? But why?
Cintrian Noble you came here with. Wanted to ask you about him.
Cintrian Noble. Ah! You must think I'm Cecilia.
Orchid confused me.
I told you not to move!
As she concluded her performance, Cecilia tossed the flower into the crowd. I caught it, but I did see the nobleman.
Really like to talk to him. What did he look like?
Like many here. Tall, dark, masked.
Know where he might be now?
He gave Cecilia a small gift, a heart-shaped box. Then they strolled off together towards the refreshment tables.
Excuse me, madame, monsieur, I cannot work like this. You must leave now.
Someone left their loot behind. Looks a little like dandelions.
This was scratched. Someone beat him with it once.
Empty heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume. A gift from the Cintrian, I imagine.
Scent still hangs in the air. Let's follow it.
What if he doesn't come?
He'll definitely.
As I said, only Mandragora artists allowed. Nothing I can do.
Come. We must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone else.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone.
Shh! Not so loud. We are here incognito, on state business.
Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
I hope we can count on your discretion.
Of course. I shall be silent as the grave.
Looking for Cecilia Bellant. Seen her?
She's in her dressing room, where she went with a nobleman. They clearly were drawn to each other.
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered, a black beard peeping out from under his mask. And he spoke with a foreign accent, a drawl of sorts.
That must be him. We must get to the dressing room, quickly.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll take you.
No, stay here. Anyone tries to flee, you stop them.
Understood.
Quickly, upstairs. That must be Cecilia.
No pulse. We're too late.
He slit her throat. The brute.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana. At once. She should bring her soiree to a close.
Shouldn't split up.
Geralt, I will be fine. Go after that rogue. I shall fetch help.
Killed her, then went out on the balcony. Tore down the door, made a platform. Clever. Must be pretty strong, too. Bloody handprint. It's his. Broke the flower pot when moving the door, then stepped in the soil. Must have climbed this ladder. Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Smashed mirror. Someone crashed into it, hard, then sank to the floor. Bloodstains. Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Precious stone. Bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this, must have. Tiny chain links next to it. From a snapped necklace? Seems there was a struggle. Jewelry box. Lock's busted. Picked open, probably. Sconce is bent. Smeared with blood. Someone try to grab it? Blood on the window frame. Someone climb out? Fall out? Looks valuable, but it's not what he came for. Hunting knife, richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Jewel was in the box, it seems. Centurion tried to steal it, but someone got in his way. They fought, struggled, that's clear. Ended with one of them flying out the window. Fall had to have killed them. Jewel's still here, though, so our Centurion must have been the flyer.
So, this is the tracker. A witcher, yes?
Indeed, this is him. We found the body together. Then he set off in pursuit of the killer.
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centurions killed his last. Finally failed this time. Shame it happened too late for Cecilia.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males badly. But I would never have suspected she could arrive with a murderer. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. Meanwhile, we should sit. I will tell you everything, in full detail. I caught him red-handed, attempting to burgle, rifling through my possessions.
What did you do? Summon the guards?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused to give him the chance. He stood with his back to me, so I attacked. He struck his head on a picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding, dazed, and then he drew a knife. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard. He
fell out of the window.
Just so.
None too wise picking a fight with an armed robber.
Why? Because I'm a woman, in a frock rather than plate. I can take care of myself, I assure you. A hairpin might look like mere ornament, but plunged into an eye, it can be as effective as a blade.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes. He stood over my dressing table, pouring through my jewelry.
Mm-hmm. After this is my guess. Picked it up while searching.
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint. Oriana, how did you ever come to have it?
I bought it, many years ago, from a young woman.
Jewel seems important. Why?
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then it disappeared. I didn't think we would ever recover it.
Seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left his tool bag behind. Found this drawing inside it. Look.
The heart of Toussaint. Representation's pretty faithful. Centurion must have been on a job. Got very clear instructions what to look for.
So it is not him we seek, but his employer. Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the Lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead, perhaps.
Duntine. Remember the place. Abandoned ruin just a few years ago.
More recently, the family's last heir, Roderick, returned to his ancestral seat and restored the castle.
Know any more about this Roderick?
His grandfather was an advisor to Queen Ademarta. The family received those lands as a grant for his service. Roderick is quite the recluse. He avoids society, preferring the company of a small team of knights, though the latter term is imprecise, as they seem more akin to vandals with crests on their shields.
Oriana, everything we discussed here, hope you'll keep it to yourself. Counting on it, in fact. Word gets out he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel. His employer could run. We need to proceed cautiously.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be troubled about it again. By anyone.
Forgive me, Madam Oriana, but might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
Oriana, any thoughts?
Few make me feel awkward, but in her presence, I sense anxiety, discomfort.
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on. Drawn with the same ink, too. Seems the work of our blackmailers.
Who were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the Sonreal and sought to steal the heart of Toussaint.
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe. Worried about one thing. That somewhere at the end of this scheme, plan might call for an attempt on your life.
It could be something else altogether. My sister, Siana, might be among the schemers. She left court when we were children. My parents banished her from the duchy. I've not seen her since.
What did your sister do to get banished?
Siana was cursed.
Parents run afoul of some mage?
No. She was born at an inopportune moment. They said she was touched by the curse of the Black Sun. Geralt, is it true? Can an individual be evil because they were born during the wrong lunar phase?
Could be the case. Could also be because they were treated like lepers from birth. Isolated, prodded, ostracized. Couldn't have had it easy, Sienna.
She was angry at the whole world. She felt inferior, felt pain, though she masked this with confidence, arrogance even. She could also be cruel at times. I recall one such situation. She persuaded Cedric the Coolbird that she could see the future in her dreams. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten with me. It was an innocent childhood crush. Sienna knew of it. She told Cedric of a dream she had had, that he would die at the hands of his own brother. Cedric stole his father's sword and killed his brother. She destroyed 2 lives with a prank. Cedric mourns to this day. In the end, they forced her to leave the palace. A decade passed. More. I've missed her terribly since.
Think your sister might be involved? Why?
You see, I recall her always being rather possessive, throwing jealous fits if I had something she didn't.
Here, that's normal for sisters. Rivalry.
True. I suppose I gave as good as I got. There are times I miss that very much. The wine, its theft, was the first clue. That's very much like her. She always did enjoy stealing my toys, but I grew almost certain when I saw the heart of Toussaint. Sienna received it from father as a gift. At a time when my parents thought of her as but an ill-behaved little girl, someone wanted some of my wine. The same someone ordered our family jewels stolen, or recovered. It's my sister. It must be.
A fallen princess satisfying whims, going after lost luxuries? Could be right.
Your mission has gained new import. You must go to Duntine, and if Sienna is there, you must find her. No matter what she did, she is not to be harmed in any way, shape, or form. You must make sure of that.
I'll find her if she's there.
I hope you do. I very much wish to talk to her. Sister to sister.
Your Grace, Geralt, I'd like to introduce...
Regis! What a surprise! I had no idea you were in Beauclair. And this is...
My very dear friend, Detlaf van der Eretain, an arrival from Nazaire.
We are lending our combined resources to the Witch's Hunt.
Ah, yes. Splendid. But why are you here at Oriana's?
They came to pay me a surprise visit, so I invited Regis in for a glass of wine. We've known each other for... ages. Literally. Witcher, I hear you know Regis too. Even that you are friends.
Seems surprised. Why?
I never would have suspected Regis to find common ground with a Witcher.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits. He merely hides them from the world very diligently.
You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only 2 options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see, sword in hand. Talking gets the job done, for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. What might a monster wish to apologize to a Witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least try.
Enough about the Witcher trade for now. Regis mentioned you come from Nazaire. I spent time there as a child.
Fond memories?
It was wonderful. I was positively entranced by the land's fashions. Deep-cut dresses I found most fascinating.
I believe we're running short on wine. I should go to the cellar, bring another bottle.
Let me go. Want to help, Regis? Know your wine a lot better than I know mine.
We shall return forthwith.
An exceptional conversation, don't you think? Vampires, a witcher,
and the Duchess of Toussaint? My.
Highly exceptional, Regis. Wanted to talk to you in private. You crazy bringing Detloff here?
Geralt, allow me to explain.
No, let me explain. He's dangerous, and you were gonna watch him.
But that is precisely what I'm doing. Detloff believes you'll succeed in your task, and he'll not need to kill anymore.
That is, not until he gets his hands on the men who kidnapped his Renna.
Oriana. She really your friend? Can she be trusted?
I met her years ago, before I met you, and before she settled in Beauclair. We'd not seen one another in... I can't begin to tell you in how long.
But I shall tell you all about her some other day.
Guessing it's no accident you two stopped by.
It would be quite some coincidence indeed. No, a dutiful little bird told us.
Mm-hmm. Now listen close. Managed to learn where the blackmailers are. They're based at Duntine Castle.
That's splendid news. If they are there, Renna must be there as well.
Duchess expects we'll find her long-lost sister there too. Thing is, she might be involved. Could be behind the blackmailing.
Do you mean to say your task now is to extract 2 women from the car?
Say we can't breathe a word of this to Detloff, who wants revenge above all else.
Geralt, you must trust me. I've got away with...
No, Regis. Can't risk it. Gotta keep Detloff here while I go to Duntine.
Alone?
Alone. That way I can make sure neither woman will come to any harm.
I hope you know what you're doing. Fine. I shall see to Detloff. Good luck, my friend.
Splendidly, Detlaff. I'm grateful you brought back those memories. You're back! It took you long enough.
Contrary to what common folk believe, choosing a wine is not nearly as easy as it might seem. Especially a wine to be served to 2 exquisite ladies.
Regis, gallant as ever. I regret all the more that I shan't finish the second bottle with you. Duty calls.
Your Grace, always a pleasure.
I thank you for your help. It's been invaluable. Geralt, will you see me out? You have exceptional friends. This Detlaff, an intriguing man to say the least.
Don't know him too well. He say much about himself?
Not much, but I've a good sense of the true nature of those I meet. I'd not survive a week at court otherwise.
So what's his?
Sensitive, sad. He carries within him the weight of a terrible tragedy. He is a good man, but lost, which is why he comes across as grim.
Didn't expect the evening to end like this.
Neither did I. But I have not drawn you out for a romantic stroll. I wish to make certain you know what you are to do.
Mm-hmm. Gotta go to Duntine.
I've decided my guardsmen will support you. You will meet them at Count Delacroix's mill. It stands along the Saône-Retour River, near the Cockatrice Inn. Captain de la Tour and his men will await you there at midnight. You shall storm the castle together.
Wasn't a fair fight. Didn't stand a chance.